The bloody night, the vanished children, the Sodder family past that never slept. Tucked away in the hills of Fayetteville was a small town where a blanket of greenery and peace was spread. But that cold night of December 24th, 1945 would shred this peace to pieces. This was not just a story of a fire. This was that wall of absurdity that transformed a family's reality into a terrifying, unanswered question. Part 1. Lamps and Shadows Before 1945. A house of stone, a courtyard of dreams. George Sodder, a sturdy Italian immigrant, had built a small coal business and a comfortable home through his hard work. His wife, Jenny, was a mother overflowing with affection who lived a bustling, warm-hearted life with her 10 children: Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, Little, Betty, Marion, George Jr., Sylvia, and John. The house was filled with memories of Italy, the strains of a guitar, the fragrance of Christmas preparations. The coming and going stranger. A few months earlier, a salesman from afar came to the house. Looking around the house for no reason at all, he said, "This house will burn to ashes one day." His words floated away in the air, but a thorn pierced George's heart. Was this just an idle remark? Clouds of enmity. George was against Mussolini and had clashed with some local Italians. One day, he fired a man he suspected was connected to the local Italian mafia from his business. That man said while leaving, "Your tongue will destroy your family, Sodder." Was this just a threat? Christmas Eve evening. On the evening of December 24th, the family spent time with milk, cake, and laughter. The children were eager for Christmas gifts. At night, there was a flicker of electricity and then it disappeared, a common occurrence in the mountains. Jenny lit candles. Preparing to go to church in the morning, everyone stayed up late wrapping gifts. No one knew this was going to be their last day together. Part 2. Smoke and Secret. 25th December 1945. The sound of fire. Around 1 a.m., George heard a ticking sound from downstairs. He thought it was some animal. Then the smell of smoke arrived. The drawing room downstairs was burning fiercely. Jenny woke the children. Thick smoke blocked the staircase. George, Jenny, and their 4 children, Maurice, Sylvia, John, and the eldest son George Jr., who slept downstairs, managed to get out. The house of entrapment. Upstairs, 5 children, Maurice 14, Martha 12, Louis 9, Jenny 8, and Betty 5, were trapped. The stairs had become prey to the fire. George ran out to look for the ladder, which always leaned against a wall. The ladder was missing. He tried to start his truck. The truck wouldn't start either. It was later discovered the battery wires had been cut. The dance of the dark night. Neighbors came, but the fire was so intense no one could reach upstairs. The fire brigade, which was made of volunteers, arrived late. The fire was extinguished in about 45 minutes. The upper floor of the house had turned completely to glass and ash. The bloody morning. When the smoke cleared, there was nothing inside. No bodies, no bones, no teeth, not even synthetic buttons from clothes melted by the heat. Just glass and ash. The fire chief said the fire was so intense that everything turned to ash. But a local chemist said human bones remain even at temperatures above 2000 degrees F. This fire wasn't that intense. The police's bizarre verdict. Within 2 days, without any forensic tests, the police delivered their verdict. The children were sleeping, they died in the fire. They said the cause was faulty wiring. George protested, "I got new wiring done." His words were suppressed. Part 3. Search and Explosion, 1946-1947. The truth of excavation. George had the ground excavated himself. They found some animal bones, not human. He called a pathologist. He said, if the children had died here, teeth, skull pieces, belt buckles, something would have been found. Witnesses breaking their silence. 1. A milkman said he saw an unknown car in front of the house a little before the fire. 2. Two neighbors said that after the fire started, they saw the children's faces in the upstairs window, scared but alive. 3. A woman said she saw a car speeding away through the fire smoke. 4. The heaviest testimony. 10 months later, a waitress called from Charleston. She said a man with 5 children had come to her hotel, having breakfast in the morning. She spoke to a boy who gave his name as Louis Sodder and said he was separated from his parents. The waitress put down the phone and picked up a newspaper where she saw the photo of the Sodder children. She picked up the phone again, but the line was dead. The police dismissed this lead too as trivial. The chase and the soul. Jenny would cry every night clutching the children's clothes. George put up a big board in front of the house with the children's pictures and the words, "Where are our children?" He hired private investigators. One investigator spoke of connections to the Italian mafia. Another investigator mysteriously disappeared. His car was found. He himself was never found. Part 4. Photograph and Hope, 1948-1968. The 1967 envelope. 22 years later, near Christmas, Jenny received an envelope. Return address, Tampa, Florida. Inside was a photo. A man about 30 years old, in a smart suit, with the childhood eyes of Louis Sodder. On the back was written, "Louis Sodder, I love brother Frankie. A Merry Christmas." Frankie? There was no Frankie in the Sodder family. Was this a code? Was Louis calling his kidnapper brother? Had he been sent somewhere else? George went to Florida to search, but found nothing. The photo was grayscale, the background blurred, not from a studio, but seeming like a hotel or public place. A question every day. George and Jenny maintained the billboard for 40 years. Media came, wrote reports, but no answers came. George passed away in 1969, the same question in his eyes. Jenny lived until 1989, looking at the children's album every day. Both were buried with their daughter Sylvia in the same Fayetteville cemetery, where 5 empty graves also exist, in the name of those children whose bones were never found. Part 5. The unanswered mystery to this day. Theories. 1. Mafia kidnapping. The most prevalent theory. Revenge for George's anti-Mussolini talk and enmity with the local Italian mafia. The children were taken out before the fire. The fire was said to erase evidence. The children would have been sent to Italy or into some traceless illegal adoption ring. 2. Accident and cover-up. Maybe the children really did die, but evidence was removed to hide the mistakes of the fire brigade or police. But such a big cover-up in a small town. 3. Human trafficking. That stranger from afar was a human trafficker. He targeted the children. The chaos of Christmas night was the perfect opportunity. The waitress's account supports this theory. 4. Witness protection. Were the children witnesses to some big crime? But the eldest was only 14. This is less probable. Final facts. The actual cause of the fire was never discovered. No DNA, no record, no credible sighting of the 5 children was ever found. The 1967 photo was examined by the FBI too. It wasn't fake, but the man was never identified. The case is still officially unsolved, but closed. Epilogue: The voice of the past. Even today, that old Sodder plot lies empty. Some say that sometimes at night, the laughter of 5 children can be heard. Some say those pictures on the billboard have turned away, eyes downcast, because their secret could never see the light. You decide. Did the fire truly have such devastating heat that even bones turned to ash? Or were those children taken away in a car into a world where they even forgot their own names? And that photo? Was Lewis's desperate cry for help, or some cruel prankster's game? The mystery is alive because the truth never